Okay, hello and welcome. So yeah, we're gonna work today on our design system called Wave, and it looks like I'll start alone, and Alexis will join us happily soon enough. So let me talk a bit about the design system. And yeah, from time to time I will watch to the right, so don't worry. It's I have the studio open here and to see the chat and everything that everything works as expected. And yeah, so what is Wave? Wave is the design system we use um, to create UI and applications and projects in FreeNow. FreeNow is a ride-hailing application, and it's not only ride anymore. We do scooters and bikes in Germany. So that what we need to know now is we use this Wave design system, and it's a set of tokens and components we've created within the last 2 years, and we're still evolving it, and it's open sourced at GitHub freenowtech/wave. Here you can come if you're interested to try it out or to try to contribute. This is the place where you can go. And this is wave.freenow.com. This is the documentation side. So let's maybe start speaking about the issue we're going to solve today. So everything is awesome. Okay, so what is the issue? The issue stands as it is. Issue 17, I think. And I'm going to start a bit from afar. I haven't prepared a presentation to you to explain what we're going to do and why this is the issue. I realized I haven't shared my screen, so let's do it. Add to the stream. So this is a GitHub issue we're going to solve today. And there was some discussion around it. And this is the documentation site. You can take a look to if you want to use the design system, this UI library. And speaking of the issue, so let me start from afar a bit. So recently we started to work on the accessibility a lot more in the company. And this is what we found out. So after some research, we realized that our headlines is pretty far from helping our users, our developers, to make accessible UIs. And why this is the case? So this is the case because in general, in the documentation, it looks all good. We have a set of headlines from with different levels from 1 to 6. As usual, they correspond to vanilla HTML elements, H1, H2, H3, H4, H5, H6. And in the documentation, it all looks great. So there is H1 header, big one. There is H2, which is a bit less smaller, and so on and so forth, till H6, which is the smallest one you can use in order to structure your page. So this is the ideal world. When we step out of this ideal world, we come into the real life scenarios. And one of those is on the screen now. So this is like the simplest page where we ask user to provide the username in order to reset password of this user. And this page structured like super simple. So there is one title, some description, and one form. So you expect that this is the main title of the page. So this should be H1 thing. But when we look at the code, it's actually H3. Why? Because H1 has has a style which is too big to fit to this design we got. And another example of this situation is our internal driver management tool. And as you see, there are clearly some structure. There is an office selected, and it looks like we're in the registration section. And in the registration section, we under self-employed driver kind of subsection. So you kind of expect that this structure gonna be reflected in the HTML in order uh, to be kind of properly created web page, and it's accessible um, to screen readers and so on and so forth. So, but if we look at the example at the heading maps, I'm using here an extension headings map. We see that actually on this page there are only two headlines, and they're both are not they are not starting from level 1. See, there is a level 3 headline Barcelona, and under it there is a level 4 self-employed headline, which is very strange if you use a screen reader and you don't have. So maybe I'm gonna step back a bit. How screen reader users use interfaces. So there are two main ways to interact, and at least what I've seen. First is to use landmarks. So they jump between different sections, so between header, main, maybe footer, and there are many landmarks you can create to navigate between them. But I think the biggest chunk of people who use assistive technology uses headlines to navigate. So when you land on the page, you expect that there is a H1 title from which you can understand what this page is about. And moving to the line below, or to the level below, to H2, you kind of get this notion of, okay, what is the kind of structure on the deep level. So I understood that this page is, I don't know, your cart. And inside probably you have like separation of what's in the cart and what you want, maybe what's in your leave for later list or something like that. So this is a way to structure the page, and assistive technology rely on headings a lot in order to navigate. And as you see here, it's kind of strange that the page starts with level 3 heading, and it's just confusing. And the only thing that helps a bit here, that the tab named pretty clearly registration cases for Barcelona, and then you kind of assume that, okay, those people did a kind of wrong, put the wrong levels to their headings, and that's why it kind of reads what it reads. But it's not an ideal. And why this has happened, I did a lot of investigation, and of course the issue is not that there is a bad developer or there is a bad designer who does this. And the idea is designers structure their the UI in the sense to make it kind of readable to the eye, and sometimes that means like the biggest text, it is the biggest on the screen, but in our design system it's not the biggest. For example, this Barcelona text, I think it's H3 style because H1 is even bigger. And the developer can go both two ways. One way is to kind of negotiate with the designer and say like, yeah, we need to have structure, and H1, it looks like Barcelona is like H1 header, and we need to use H1 here, and it kind of dictates the styling of this element. So you cannot just make it smaller. Or another way a developer can go is just obey the designer and put any headline technically, semantically, that matches the design. And this is the default way most of the people will go. and it's nothing wrong with that. It's like when you when you think between and choose between semantics, which is not kind of you don't need to, there is no verification step, or design, where designer will take a look at the UI you've created and kind of approve or not approve. Of course, I would go for design as well, because this is where you need to get approval, and the semantics is like something you kind of need, but nobody enforces it. And then that's that's the situation you end up. And yeah, it's really important for headlines to separate semantics from styles. um, why this is important? Because exactly those reasons, because we want to have maybe style text differently, but keep it h1 or h2, depending on the situation. But we want to make text bigger, smaller, wider, narrower, depending on the situation. And recently I started to use this kind of decision slider and to make decisions about the design system we've creating. And this is a slider between freedom and restrictions, because every design system supposed to restrict its users. We don't want, if we don't want to restrict, we're just saying like, yeah, style as you wish. But the idea of UI library is to restrict somehow, to dictate patterns. And this is where there is kind of very thin edge, where you can dictate those patterns, but still give enough freedom so those patterns are kind of respected, and nobody hacks around those to do what they want to do. And at the moment on this slider, we are exactly on the rightmost, how do you call it, step, let's say. And so we restrict everything. But for sure, we don't want maximum freedom, because too much freedom is bad. We cannot really structure anything. We cannot kind of make the development faster. And for example, this is a Tailwind CSS, which is not a UI library. It's a framework to create prototype interfaces, and they export a bunch of classes and those classes tweak one or two or three CSS styles so you can style very atomically and very precisely what you want to get. But it ends up that you have 7 classes just to style one header, which for me is like overkill. And our library, we don't want to go this way, because our library is about our narrow set of topics, set of patterns we use. So what we decided to do is to go from this picture. So this is how it is now in the library. We have a headline component, and using this as property, you can set what type of HTML element you want to use for the headline. And the style is attached to this level of headline. So H1 has only one style, and you cannot really set another one. And H2, same. It's like, okay, this is another style, just slightly smaller. But they're kind of glued together, the tag you use and the style. And what we want to add today is to add this second degree of freedom. So second property. So instead of doing like, this is the only thing you can select, only the level, and we define the styles for you. This is the picture where we want to land. So we want our user, the developers, to select not only the tag they're going to use, but also the size or the style they want to apply to this tag. And in that way, we're going to have decouple those semantics and styling, and you can easily or easier to achieve this accessible interface. So you can say, I want this H1 tag, H1 headline, but with the size of XL. And it's still going to be H1, but it just looks smaller. And semantically, this is the correct way. It's like, okay, visually it's smaller, but maybe in the context of the page, it's big enough to stand off. But from the HTML perspective, we definitely want to have this clearly defined structure with levels starting from 1 till 6 or till the many levels developer needs for the particular use case, but goes step by step without skipping any levels. And this is what we're going to do. Okay, Alexis, I think he's on the way and joins any moment soon. So this is what we're going to do. And for that, what we need our code. We need to run the documentation, and we need to run an example. So here is the code. And I'm going to update because I think I'm not in the main branch. Okay. And then, yeah, when Alexis joins, we're going to align him who does what. But looks like I'm coding today, and he's going to be like a skipper, navigator, helping me to achieve that. So we need to create a new branch. Feature, headline, styles. Separate. Okay, here we go. And now we need the components, and here is how our headline looks like. We use as our tech stack, there are 3 main things you need to know. So the first one, we use React. Second one, for styling, we use styled components. So this is CSS and JS approach. And we also write tests, which we use React testing library. At the moment, they're kind of not checking that what we want to check, but we will get there. And let's take a look at what is, and TypeScript. Yeah, that's another thing I forgot to mention. So TypeScript is here. And that's why we define all our props in the interfaces. So to really work with the headline props, we need to review it. So props for the headline. There is a flag to show, to indicate whether the text is shown on the white or light background or on the kind of darkish background. If it's on the darkish, we invert the color from deep blue to kind of grayish white. And this is our property to set what is the level. And the styles goes like this. There is a huge switch that defines what is the font size, what is the line height. And this is where we want to untangle those. You see, there is exactly one style for each of the headline. So this we want to refactor somehow and split into 2 things. Okay. And there are other things we set. So font family, color, we're not going to touch those. But I think this is the font size. This is where we're going to work today. So Okay, we define that this is our main point of work. What else do we need to know? What else do we need to decide? This library is used across a lot of applications in FreeNow, and that means the library is already published. And what we don't want probably is to introduce break-in changes. So this is what we would like to avoid, if possible, today. And that means we need to think carefully about API we're going to produce and defaults we're going to use. And at the moment, what I think is like we keep this as a property to set the headline, and we're going to introduce this size property that's going to be um, it's going to be optional. And here we're going to define those kind of x small and blah blah blah. And but because this size is not mandatory, we need to have the default ones for each of the headlines, and they should match the ones that exist. So if person will update the library, nothing should break for them, and that means we will just release a feature version, so minor version, instead of doing major versioning with breaking changes. That's it. Let me see if there is a message from Senor Alexis. And nope. And yeah, 40 minutes ago he said he is joining in 40 minutes. Okay, sad. How we're gonna debug this? That's another question. So let's maybe start with the spec and review what tests do we have, and let's maybe add first the tests we're gonna use to verify. So headline, we render h1 by default. That's good. So all of those should not break. Ideally, if nothing is set, nothing should break. This is the way we're gonna determine everything works as expected. Renders different headline sizes. This is the thing. So this is the thing where we iterate over headlines, headline levels, and apply and check if the size is correct. Renders different headline sizes, different default, let's say, headline sizes. So this is the way we kind of ensure that we don't break anything. And I'm gonna add a describe, which we'll call maybe, no, we actually need only one, I think. Render the asprop respects. Okay, let's add this. Set use size from the size prop. Use this the size from there. And what we're gonna do is we just render headline, let's say as h, and then we're gonna set the size to something like medium, and let's render this separate thing, and then screen. Yeah, we need some text now. Level 2. And here we're gonna do screen get by text. This by text. And there's an error property. Okay, let's see, because we don't import screen. Go here, line 18, get by text. What do we expect from this headline? A headline to match HTML tag H2 and headline to have style, and here we're going to define our style. And I don't know what style we're going to use. Let's see, H1, H2, H3, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Probably we're gonna use this one. Yeah. Okay, I see Mr. Alexis has joined. Yeah, give me a moment. I will add you to the stream, Alexis. Nobody hears you. Font size. Okay, and hello.
Hello. All right. Sorry for being late.
Okay, so what I have at the moment, I think I'm gonna drive. I'm gonna code. You're gonna navigate and ask questions. So what I did at the moment is, so what do we want to achieve? We want to have, instead of this, instead of having H1, H2, H3, and there is like a big switch which defines a style per each of the level, we want to have something like, let me show it to you. Why? Probably it's here. Headline. So we want to get something like this, I think.
Okay. So the idea is that we provide a way to keep the semantics, but change the size of your headline or something like that.
Yeah. So
got it.
Move from this, and this way, I think we will still keep old API working. Avoid this unnecessary break and change.
Okay.
So that's the idea. What I did so far is I've created a test I added the test. So ideally, all of the old tests should pass because we want to achieve backwards compatibility.
Yeah.
And what we want is to add a test for size prop and maybe even exhaustive check. And so what I did is I rendered the headline and I got it. And then I checked that headline still has this H2 level I set. Yeah. And the style, but style, I put it like randomly because this is what we need to define or need to check what levels do we have. And now I'm wondering, where do we keep those values? We should keep them in Zeppelin, I think, no?
So you are talking about the values, the raw values of the size, or the aliases and the mapping?
Yeah, so the mapping is here. So it goes from 0, 1, 2, 4, 5, and I bet 7.
Okay.
And so 0 is the smallest one, and 7 is the biggest. What I want to do is to create a mapping between values, because here in the interface, we want to write like size, and here we want to write like X small. And but how we're gonna name it? That's the question. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that most likely what you want right now is to allow to expose the API first, and then we can move code from one part to another and understand where to place things and how to name things. But maybe to finish the implementation raw, don't you think?
I'm thinking let's make it a test to pass. So we do one size you can set,
Exactly.
medium, and then we add more. And
Exactly.
for that, so let's say I want medium to be probably H3, which is font size 4. Okay. And so determine font size. Here we pass props, and I think the only thing we need to actually change is we have a switch now by the tagline, but we need to switch by
the
the
size.
size. So if we do switch prop size, and we're gonna do, okay, we're now gonna have only one. So case medium, we return
Font size 4.
Yeah, I'm gonna copy at the moment, and then we probably need to create a mapping or something.
Yeah.
And if not, if we don't return, we still fall down to these default cases. So this is supposed to work.
So you have the test running in another monitor or something like that?
Yeah, I want to run it now.
All right.
Okay, have it here. Bigger, bigger, bigger. Okay, and we do npm test. Let's see.
Maybe text watch, and we can filter for
Yeah.
the headline.
Okay. It was a watch all no. But it runs.
Yeah, but you can press P and copy and paste the headline. Yeah. P.
Yeah, but we can run only what has changed, no?
Yeah, also.
I think this is the thing. Yeah, 2 out of many. So let's see. Let's hope. It's not gonna be. I do not expect a huge change.
First size of undefined.
Okay. To match HTML tag.
But it's saying that container doesn't have anything.
Yeah. Let's see. Let's see. That's actually strange, no? The screen debug.
Yes, exactly. It's a matter of preference, but sometimes I prefer to like filter the file and mark only a single test. Couple seconds.
Yeah.
But yeah.
There is a new jest version which allows you to step between failed tests without doing so.
Ah, nice.
But we haven't got it updated yet. But it's a nice feature.
So we have the debug there. We have the headline there. And it seems like what we cannot do is wrapper.container.
I think I know what it tries to destruct the first child from the container, but this is this matcher. But what we do here is I'm passing is it the container? It's like an HTML element, because all the previous examples we passed the whole render there. You see?
Okay. Wait. So what we are failing is in the matcher, to match HTML tag. That has a method that currently is failing. Okay.
Yeah, this exact, because it expects that I pass the whole container, which is weird. We can what we can do, I think, to have style to match HTML tag to have tag. No,
Oh yeah, it seems like no. Let me
no. It's like
what version of just DOM are we using? Is the last one?
I'll check. Just DOM.
Yes.
5.
5.
Yeah,
like there are two minor, but shouldn't be that.
And what do we have in the documentation here? Okay. Match HTML. Because we can always do like to match attribute and get a tag attribute or something. Just DOM. We need just DOM.
Yeah, but I'm seeing the custom matchers, and I don't see the one that you are using, which is a little bit weird.
Yeah, let's see where it is. Oh, it's actually our custom. So, bad.
Okay.
True. Dun, dun, dun. Why do we need those? Don't we have like the regular one?
Like by default, you can use something that is called to contain element, to contain HTML or something like that. Let me assist you with those two to see.
Contain HTML. But
yeah, one of those two maybe.
Last one.
Yeah, actually, I think there's a valid ones.
I think I would go with to have attribute.
Okay.
But I'm not sure. Let's see. It's I think tag, and it's uppercase, and we expect H2.
Didn't know that you can check the tag as an attribute.
Okay, I'm gonna follow your lead and do headline. And I don't want to isolate the test because probably we don't want other things to fail. Okay, to have attribute tag. I know. Looks like I'm wrong. Let's try this here. I think I'm just gonna add this. Okay, there is this div, and what I'm gonna do is to do 0.tag. I think tag name.
Tag name.
It should be, but we'll see. This is
yeah, that one that makes sense.
It does, but it doesn't look that cool, you know. it's like something pretty hacky, you know. Like tag name. No, it doesn't. Like I think it checks attribute from the HTML element and
Got it.
JavaScript.
Kind of. And what about like working around this issue? So we can like inline snapshot and then check styles that we care. Does that make sense for you?
Yeah, I also considered like, do we really need to check that this is a tag, and so the tag is exactly the same because we're already kind of checking that as already works as expected. Yeah. Do we want to intersect those checks? I don't know.
Okay, that's also a way to see it. Yeah, I will avoid to have this problem right now and just to go with the styling.
Okay, let's proceed with the styles.
I think as we do this more often, it's gonna be very fun because I can Google things out while you are in the thing. So yeah, it's fun.
Christopher offers to check by role, but the issue is like we easily find those. But actually, I like the idea. Get by role, of course, is better. And now I need to remember the role. I think it's headline or
Heading,
heading.
heading, heading. Yeah, it's heading.
Okay. And oh yeah, true, Chris. Nice advice because we can set
Because you
level
got a
here.
level.
Ooh,
Ah.
hot. That's cool.
Props to the man.
And now we can do like, okay, it will fail if there is no such thing. Okay, awesome. Awesome.
Great.
We can, of course, always check like headline to be, but to be in the document, but it will fail automatically because it throws if nothing is found. Okay, so we did the first medium kind of thing. I think we can commit. What do you think?
Yeah, makes sense.
It.
So here's me like talking out loud
API
conversations in YouTube. Is that right?
in YouTube.
Yeah. The Christopher comment. I want to see people comment too.
You can even share the screen and tell me. I can reshare what you share.
No worries, no worries. Okay, so this then what we are doing is exposing the medium size to the headline, right?
Yep. Cool. So now I think we're kind of doing TDD stuff. Why it didn't commit? Hello? I think it's stuck. Yeah. My WebStorm is dead. Oh no, it's all good now. I think it take him a while to wake up. So I'm thinking we can do some similar kind of check that you can set all.
A similar check, so you can set all.
Yeah, so this is the example when we look through all of the headline levels and check that their default font size, the default style is matching those values.
Okay, got you. All right. So
the
instead
idea is
writing different tests, we look through all the cases that we expect, and we give some assertions.
Provided line with provided sizes. I don't know if it's English. Chris, go.
Go again.
I need your help with English. Okay, so let's do test cases, and what we want here, we already want to define those pairs.
Okay.
So it's gonna be, so we're gonna have 6 of those, yeah, 5, 6. And
why we are saying that we're going to have 6? Maybe I missed the moment where you take the decision, but just for me to know.
No, there is kind of no decision, but we want to be able to use current styles as a kind of, so you can set H1 and use style from H6. So this is kind of the idea. And I think the naming was something like maybe X small, small, and we thought about this as medium, no? Or this is like medium.
Medium large.
Well,
large.
medium rare. I don't know, large. X large. XX large. I'm thinking like is it good enough? Maybe X should be here now to kind of be clearly visible, or 2X. I don't know. That's kind of, that's the key point here, because we want to make it kind of fine, but I don't know. Let's see what we have in the issue.
And the documentation from the designers doesn't have anything? Like what they do with the token?
Let's take a look. So in the ticket, what we discussed is something like this. So let me make it a bit bigger. So headline XXL large, X large, large. So this is exactly what I actually did without even looking. But here we did, I proposed like 4XL or something. Maybe large is better because it's slightly.
But when you go to the conversation of the tokens, I think we touch base on this one too, isn't it?
Nice catch. I think we did, yeah. Tokens. We closed it yesterday, I bet. Token. Here we go. Extra small, small, medium, large. But those are font sizes, and we need to be careful with those, because those are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 4. Yeah, but we can use all of them, no?
Yeah. Can you go down? Go down, because I think that at some point someone shared the token list that they have in Figma. Like I think was Rafael at the very bottom. Or not? Maybe I'm wrong. No.
Because what we have, it's not only about the font, but it also about the
line height. I saw that you were.
Height. Yeah. Let me actually split those into two. It vertically. And here we're gonna use headline. So on the right there would be test, on the left it will be the actual code. So you see there is line height, and this is what I want to maybe keep.
You say that once you change the size, you will also influence the line height.
Yeah, I think they're related.
Yeah.
And we can align. We can get everything together and then ask for designers to help to provide some line height that is reasonable for those which are missing. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2. Third is missing, and then 6, 7 is missing, I think.
I'm trying to see what is the usage in terms of naming from others.
What I also want to check maybe is the how do we call it, Zeppelin? Because I remember those line heights, they didn't match last time I've checked. So those are the things we have. Typography 4860. So if we do 60 divided by 48, I'm today. Typography 4860 by 48, 125, and we have 2.5. But this is, I think, margin or something. Let's see.
No, but the line has. Okay, got you. You are taking the absolute numbers to see what is the.
Yeah. You see here it's like 125, and in general it is 125 across all of those things. 125. See, 40 to 32. But now I'm thinking like it's already too late to change those because they're already used around.
Okay.
Or at least not all together, maybe as a separate pull request or something.
Yeah, we don't need to do it right now,
Because
perhaps.
those are breaking changes for sure. And wait, here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and no 6. So I don't know. I'm thinking there is also abstract. Maybe there we have a better documentation. I don't know which one should we look now. It's a bit abstract. Let's hope for the best.
I'm trying to check different ways. By the way, gearing back to the naming, I see some approaches is just to have like XS, and then a small, medium, large, and XL. That's it. But you got only 5, and we want to have 8. That's like a lot, no? Do we really need
that's
that?
the question. Do we want to use all of the fonts, or we want to only set predefined things? I think we want to keep those we already have, just adding this flexibility. That's the purpose of this exercise.
Exactly.
I'm trying to find maybe text style. Is it? Yeah, here we go. I think we found it. It's from a year ago. Hopefully it matches what we want, because it can be that it's more to the application side. So 48, no, I think it matches, yeah.
Yeah, that's also a terminology that can help us if we need more in the bigger sizes. Display, which is supposed to be a text that is for like very prominent titles.
Yeah, but how do you... So, I mean, those large, medium, small is kind of expected. I would expect those.
Yeah.
And display is something about the purpose. Do we want to dictate like the purpose?
Gotcha.
I don't know. Because here there is subtitle, body, it's already not about what we need. I think, so let's go with this map with, as we defined. And then we'll see. So extra large goes font number 7. I think we actually just copy paste those, no?
Yeah.
Wrong. Here we go. Okay. And here, paste. Geez.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I'll paste. And we go. So, and then we do test each. I was actually surprised that there is this built-in functionality. I never used it before, this headlines. That you can do this parameterized test, and it's already built into just
Gotcha.
test cases. Now you call. No, I think it's all good. Yeah. My bad. Here. And here we do name in okay. In size H1 with correct. This one I don't understand what they used, but we use size this renders uses correct size.
But it will be like render, like, well, I think you already know what I'm going to say.
It's not about the font size, isn't it?
Exactly.
True. But yeah, let's finish this
Yeah.
just and then drop
Yeah.
those, because here we need not only font size, but we need more stuff.
Exactly.
Okay, so but at the moment, so we get here the size size name and font size, or expected, let's say, size. And for each we render headline, and it's always going to be, let's say it's h1, so we want to just set size to the size name, and then headline and here.
But wait, it's fun because I think someone write me by iMessage, like we have a couple messages in the chat that we didn't answer. So maybe I can go to the link and make sure that I take a look at the chat while we are speaking.
Yeah,
but
I see those.
It's just my way to say we really care about your feedback. Is that we are just understanding how to interact and everything. That's great.
Yeah,
Cool.
You can also do this. You see, say hi to Luis Castro.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
But yeah, if you can answer.
Yeah. I will have it here, and I skip the conversation, but I have it here in my monitor also.
So we render and we expect to have style, and here one more thick font size have to be our expected font size. Okay. And then yeah, it's not about the font size only. So
but wait, so by now this test pass, this what we are doing right now?
It should fail because we have only medium. So
exactly. So let's keep going through this path, and then we can, okay, we need to aggregate the different styles that we will have, and we can kind of polish everything.
Now it is not happy that we use so here in the code on the left, I set only medium as an available size. So we need to bring all of those in order to run the test. And it will be 2x large.
But wait, what is your take in regards shorter version of those size names? Kind of XXL, like teacher and clothing or whatever, you know? XL, M, S, XS.
Yeah, I think it can be as well. That I don't have any preference. I like when it's X is kind of separated from the size itself, and because it's a bit easier to read. But this one is, I think, short enough, yeah, to.
No, I actually would say not put the number, but rather 2x, like the same as clothing. Yeah.
Then it's like, okay, yeah, I think it's readable. Yeah.
And I don't think that you're going to arrive to that point, right? Like 4x.
Hopefully.
It's like, what the fuck are you doing, man? What is the hierarchy of your content?
Okay, yeah, let's go with the small ones, less to type. Yeah. Okay. I think Luis also kind of
Yeah. Actually, it was.
recommended this
Yeah.
approach. Yeah, XXL. I mean, this is probably the hardest thing, is to decide how to name things than to really code. Okay, so now we have those. We need to add a bit of documentation right away. Set this file. Okay, fine. Okay, and now medium should be M, and here medium should be M. Okay, and now the string is not assignable to type. Yeah, because this thing should not be, it is not a string, it's set of exact values. So I think we can do this as const, and that will do the trick. I'm not super good with TypeScript, but yeah, it looks like.
Yeah.
I think we missed something. There is like a dot. That I don't know, what is it.
No, that's the L. XSSML.
Oh yeah, because okay, skip the L. See, TypeScript helps.
But why? Can you elaborate on as const? Do you really need that?
So the idea is, like, if you don't have this, it's just an array that can be changed. So potentially you can push more things into it. And as you see, if I take a look at this type, it's string. It's just kind of array of strings, array of strings. And doing as const, you're kind of saying, like, this is not going to be changed. And then the TypeScript derives what are the possible values. So because it's read-only, it can narrow the selection.
Okay, got it. Let's put here highlight tip from Nick.
Okay, so now let's run. It should fail. Now, not because of the TypeScript. No, still because of the TypeScript. Medium, where do we have it? Headline 20. Okay, line 20. But I think it's an old one. Let's rerun. M is not assignable.
It's in the component definition, apparently.
Yeah. It's like, but I already deleted those.
Did you?
I'm also, yeah. You see, this is exactly this. I'm thinking if those props kind of have this size as well, because I think it can be that this is an HTML attribute. Let's see, size. Yeah, there is such a thing, but it's a number, and it's not mandatory. So let's.
But can you search for medium? Can you search for that line or
yeah?
Run again.
Let me rerun just in case, because I see the code it offers is outdated. Okay, probably we don't need this design system thingy. Let's wait. Okay, now something that's already about the styles. So size M uses correct font size. Okay, wrong. Size L, XL, so all of those has failed. Okay, that's what we expected.
Great.
I think so. Yeah, we expected it.
Just for the audience, so everyone knows, feels that you are in control.
Yeah. Until what I see, like the value is it's wrong. It's obviously wrong because the value is just like an element, and from the testing
It,
library. See, it's like get all by text, all those things. I think I
gotcha.
called it wrong, but yeah, this is the thing. Containers first child. Okay, no, we're not gonna go this way. Actually, we would love to refactor those as well. Const. Oh no, we render, then we do screen get by role.
Mm-hmm.
And here we do headline. Headline or heading? Heading.
Heading. No headline, I think. It was headline, no? Or I get confused already.
Yeah, I'm always getting confused with this heading. Yeah,
Heading.
Okay, let's say level 1, just for clarity. Now it should fail differently, you see? So now it should show some should pass. That wasn't my issue. Like M should pass because we have this case in place.
Okay. Like it should fail, but fails super unrelated. XL is the one that passes.
Yeah. Now I'm thinking, yeah, because this is the default one for H1, and we now do not. I mean,
With medium, what happened with medium?
Let's see. Medium. Font size, we expect 1, and there is 1.5. Okay. This looks like we set, so there is like a different font should be set for medium, because I took another one when I coded the M. So M here is font size 2, and in the code I think I used font size 4, which is L now. So that's an issue. So now it should be 2. Now there should be 2 passing XXL, because this is the default one for H1, and M because this is the one we set and we process. Yeah, now it's all good. XXL and M. So XXL is kind of getting ignored because, but it is default one. It is the default one. Okay, it's you never expect that extracting a thing will take you 1 hour, no?
But I think it's okay, and also because trying to vocalize and understanding and communicating the thing, it's not the same like being enclosed in yourself, right? So it's okay.
Yeah. Recently we added this password component where you can. When you see this, it's like very silly. You just add this button to show and hide thing, and I estimated it for 1 hour, and it took 1 week to code and to pass all the pull requests.
It's like sometimes my wife is like, what are you doing like for so long, right? And then I wanted to show her like what's my what is the physical output, digital output of what I have been doing, and it's like 1 second of interaction or 100 milliseconds of interaction.
Yeah. Like I worked for a week to have this text
to close the eye.
shown.
Yeah.
It's actually funny to watch this, developers code, and you see like when developers speak about the code, it's easy, but then you see like senior engineer solving lead code issues, lead code task, and everybody is like struggle a lot. It's like there is nothing like somebody does this like super fast. Only if you're prepared and you kind of was solving it for last 2 months, maybe you will be fast. But in general, it's very funny. It's like, okay, there are those kind of imaginary 10x engineers that do everything super fast. Everybody suffers. So what's next? We need to make them pass, no? So I don't know. those kind of in those situations, there is a temptation to start kind of extracting the common chunks immediately.
But I wouldn't do it, right? So what I will do is to copy and paste your M, do it with all the sizes, commit to that, and then start to spot what is the thing that you can refactor.
Okay, yeah, let's do this. And here we replace H1 is XXL. So yeah, we do like proper proper TDD, make it fast and refactor. Yeah.
And I found like helpful also not just for the sake of the process, but for me, like to keep the context and make sure that I don't fuck up in the middle of something that hasn't been finished yet. I think
the only thing that I don't like is like the logic at the moment. So first we run through the sizes, and then if there is size set, so if there is something matching, we return the style right away. But then as you see, I don't know if you noticed, but there was a default case from the H1, so I deleted it because if there is no size set, we want to fall down to this second switch. And
but it's not easier and cheaper, but we can jump into it once all the tests are passing. Set a default prop in terms of the size, and then you don't need a two switch.
But then, yeah, but that means we need to have those pairs of things, yeah, because those as prop should match a particular size by default. But yeah, we can definitely go that way. It looks kind of okay. Okay, let's see. Now it should be all green. It's all green, but one failed. What? So user size from the size prop has failed because we used a wrong style here. Here that should be size 2. And now it should be all green. It must be.
If not, everything is out of control. All right.
Okay, so commit. So that means the prop works already, yeah?
Yeah.
All possible size props or
complete support for all sizes or something.
Supports all size prop values. Okay.
All right.
We're gonna squash at the end, so nobody really cares. But I love to write. I sometimes write like one screen of explanation why I did this. But in GitHub, it's useful.
One thing that I was thinking before making the actual refactor is that can we take a look to the tests, the titles, the names that we have, and make sure that everything makes sense? Because I don't know if we have something there that is like self-repeating or something that we can. Okay, renders HA1 tag by default, that makes sense. Respects the as prop, arguably, because it's a styled component, but okay. Use size from the size prop. Renders, but use the size from the size prop. You already have a whole describe block for that, right? What's the point?
Yeah, I think the point is just to check that the prop is there, but yeah, and it doesn't make any sense. Yeah, I agree.
Renders the children as a white color when inverted property is set. Makes sense. And renders different default headline sizes. Okay.
Okay, so let's drop this one. Yeah, the size prop.
And let me ask you this:
But that was the test we struggled the most. Come on, we cannot just delete
it. No, another question that comes is like, go back to the terminal where all the tests are being there for reading, because we have one describe block that says renders different default headline sizes. So that means that if I set headline as H3, it has an inherent size, right? But if I say as H3 and then I put a size, the size takes precedence rather than the H3.
Mm-hmm.
But shouldn't we check that hierarchy? Because potentially you can write code that, like as H4 size, I don't know, XXL, and it doesn't pay attention.
I understand that you want to save this test, so yeah, we just rename it and say size.
Yeah, exactly.
Prop takes. How do you call it?
Precedence.
Has more priority.
Oh, well, yeah.
Can you over takes? I don't know. Has spell it.
Precedence with C. Precedence.
Over.
I think so.
Prop. Okay. Okay, so yeah, we render here H2, and we can set something like XX small to be super precise. And the level is still going to be XXS. I don't know why I want to write full name. So maybe we can add this kind of aliases for those, but no, let's not go.
So level is 2. That's great, and the font size will be what? 0.
Mm-hmm. Precedence. So we saved the tests.
Yeah.
That Chris helped to add. Okay, yeah. So let's commit and let's say test headline refine and test descriptions.
Okay, so I guess that for now, before we finish, what we want is to clean the code. We want to do that?
Yeah, I think so. What I don't like is first we duplicate. So for example, this thing, every style is duplicated twice. So this is in size prop, and there should be another one in this switch for as. So probably what we want is to get rid of this switch and have the default size set. Yeah.
Let me think about it.
Yeah. So let's maybe step back and take a look at the component as a kind of whole thing. So I think we're done with tests. So I'm gonna unsplit and split it the wrong thing. Headline. So this is the headline, how it looks like. It's a styled component, and it's actually H1 kind of by default. But then using as attribute, we set what HTML tag we use. Yeah, so we override it. And then the colors, those are static. And this is the function we were playing with, determine font size.
Okay.
And I'm thinking, so first, we pass everything here to this props. And here we use this switch for the size and switch for the as. So I'm thinking we can create a constant where we're gonna keep all those mappings. So let's say const default headline size, this size. Here we're just gonna have this h1, and the default one for this is XXL, h2, h3. So do you have a better idea what we can do?
I want to see your idea because I yet I'm struggling to see the whole picture. But yeah.
Okay. Here as const because it's fixed, and here the idea is the following. So in this thing, what we want is to do something like this. So size, we want to take it either from the props, or if it's empty, we set it to default headline size, and we say
H1
props as.
But if you don't pass any as?
Yeah, that's another question. We can do even like this, but no, let's not go this way. I think so. With this, we have size already. Okay, and there is this h1 style which was used here as a default case. And here we can set that we can just move this default case, I think. So like this.
Okay, so let me try to get it. So what you are doing is a mapping, right, on sizes and tag names, and then you will say, if you don't give me a tag name, I will set this certain. If you don't give me a size, I will give you
the default
this
one.
size, the default one. But why you are doing like that? Why not to use a default prop from like React stuff? Default prop size equals blah.
I think maybe I just don't understand how to do this dynamically. Do you know? Because we want to set the default prop based on the as attribute. So if we do default props here, and we want to set size, how can I determine it? I need to have some. So it's not just a static. It depends on the as prop.
Now I get it. Okay. Got it. You need the reference of the tag name that you are using in order to set the size, of course.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Maybe there is a kind of way to do so with the default props. Knows. And props can be defined as a property. Set default props
Luis
for the class.
is saying you can deconstruct your props attribute and assign defaults on the function call. No. I think he were seeing the same as me, like it is dynamic. Yeah, we cannot do that.
Can't we? So the idea was to deconstruct here.
No, but I think you are going to find the same.
Right, as and I'm just wondering if now there is a conflict, but let's see. Can we use as default headline? Yes, probably not. Or can we? No. Yeah, it's not identified.
I understand your try. Cool.
That's a nice idea. Yeah, I would love to have it. Actually, yeah. The only thing I'm considering, like, is it, if it's a const, should it be uppercased? This will default to
Feels like.
privacy.
Feels like. Okay. So again, we have a function, determinate font size. And that function, if you don't provide a size, I will give you which size it is in order, depending on your tag name.
Actually, now Liz goes saying like this is possible, like to change size. Okay, let's see. Here, props. If it works, it looks awesome. Size. Okay, we can even inline this just to verify. It's actually, yeah. Let's try to run the test. But for me, it's a bit cryptic that the order. Yeah, I mean, I understand why the order matters here, but like, it's not super clear, I think, from the outside. Okay, yeah, it works.
Yeah, it works.
Yeah, I mean, but it doesn't, of course, because it's initialized as later if we put like this.
Of course.
So.
No, but yeah, I think that although it's sexy, I will take the other approach.
Why there was an error, but so you would take the other approach?
Yeah.
And just to be super precise, I mean.
Yeah. It makes me easier to understand right away the concept. Well, it was good though.
Yeah, I never knew that you can do this dependency there. So let's see the tests. No, maybe they don't pass.
No, Nick, no. I need to eat though.
Okay, no, they all good.
Oh yeah.
Okay, let's time to run everything.
Green lights.
Light runs only half. I don't see even heading in this. It will be there. Okay, I'm gonna commit meanwhile. Factor. And
it's true that before we make the PR, we were talking about the fact that size doesn't only talks about size, but also line height. So maybe in the test we wanted to update the wording or something like that.
Yep, makes sense. Do you think so? Then that means we need to change both of the tests. Both of the groups. This one, because here we use as well, like
renders different default headline size. But that's because we are checking only this one.
Because they're the same actually.
So renders headline with rendered headline styles with provided sizes. Exactly. That's for the second one.
Wait, can you repeat?
So line 59 renders headline styles with provided sizes. And there in line 73, instead checking only font size, you want to do the same for the line height.
Okay. Yeah, I understand what you mean. I'm thinking like those tests are similar. Don't we want to add line height here, or you think it's kind of implied? They actually one imply another, but okay, let's add it here and then decide. Line 2.5, 375. Do with the rams. I have to. I'm now thinking like, shall we just provide an object with styles here just to make it super duper clear?
I like it. I like it. And actually, you can use the same API that you will use for the assertions. Yeah, exactly.
Line.
Yeah. Rocks.
Bit of a repetitive job.
Now it's when your shortcuts magic.
Yeah.
Sure.
Fully hate help. Okay. Here.
You're missing only the exactly.
Yeah, I know, but there is no comma, so I would miss it. Okay, and here it was 2, I think. And then 1375. And I'm going back to the previous one. 125, 125. Okay. The fly, which bothers me a lot, but
what bothers you, sir?
I have flying around me. Super annoying. Expected styles. And here we do.
My wife is doing a pasta that we learned in Facebook with tomato cherry and feta cheese that melts. Woo! You can.
That's why you're trying to be fast, no?
I want to jump into the table.
Okay. Now it's a bit messy, I think, the subject, but still better than just random, some random relative values. Let's see.
I wonder if it's okay to repeat them in the two clusters, or I think so, because otherwise you start to create too much of abstraction within the test, and now you don't know if the implementation is failing or the actual test is failing.
Yeah, I prefer to keep them here, at least to have them visible in one screen.
Exactly.
Okay, so what else have we forgot? We need to add the documentation, which I think I can add. So you want to jump out, don't you?
No. I mean, let's finish.
Okay. So let's see if the headline passes. If all good, I think we're on a good spot already to create a pull request.
In the documentation, what do we need for the documentation?
We need to add this to the table.
Got it.
and also maybe tweak an example and to show both things. Okay, we're all
Makes sense.
green. I'm gonna update retest line, verify the line right, set with size for forwarding. Okay, I think this is.
Nick, but shouldn't you have the same object of font size and line height in the test above?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Do you want to keep them all together? Okay, so let's do this. Copy, and let's jump here. 754210. Okay, all good. Here, expected styles, line height, and here we do expected styles font size.
Yeah.
Okay, why it is not happy? Because we need to do that. Okay. I'm not gonna wait for everything. I run only headline. I think we're good. Okay, fingers crossed. I think this is the last kind of in-code touches, no?
Yeah.
Okay, now we do according to the size. Crop. Okay. So, wait. Why this in size? I don't like this kind of, it confuses me. Renders different default headline sizes in size H1 with correct fonts.
With correct styles. With correct styles.
But this is not size. Like H1 has, maybe do something like H1 has correct styles. And here we do as well. Or renders H1 with correct styles.
Yeah. And you have the same. You got it.
Or renders is on top. Okay. H1.
Renders different default headline sizes. H1 with correct style. H2, okay, makes sense. Renders headline styles with provided sizes.
So there would be L as well with correct.
I will use the same. I will use here size L with correct styles. Exactly.
Okay. Very fine. How fancy it would be.
I think my camera becomes laggy. Let me try.
Yeah, a bit.
Oop. Same. I think it's the same.
Maybe it's internet. Okay, so yeah, looks fine, yeah?
Looks perfect.
Okay, now we commit, finally. I don't know why, but to commit to GitHub, it takes more than to commit somewhere else.
Because you commit already to the remote.
No. Oh, no, it's not even a GitHub. Yeah, it's actually local. I don't know what happened. So the docs, let's jump into this one. Headline component will be rendered as will render an HTML. Please reference blah, blah, blah. Use different headlines and paragraph to structure content hierarchically.
Headline 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. Item wrapper inverted. So what you need is another item wrapper, but with the size.
Yeah, but this is actually, I don't really. So those are default sizes. Those are inverted default sizes. And I thought about like playground. So we do like as H1 size, let's say small.
Yeah, XS.
I don't know why I want to do this. The smallest. I think we need to add something about this headline. Okay, I think let's add something like styles and semantics.
The only thing that I would suggest, though, is that we have, for instance, in Box, in the document of Box, the documentation of Box, we have like a paragraph on the top that says which are the props that we expose.
Oh yeah, true. I think this one is missing here.
And that's the thing that I would like to have in all the components, for instance. Yeah, that one. The box supports space, layout, position, color, flexbox.
But I thought more about this kind of thing.
Okay. Well, can do that then.
I think we do this manually now. This is the only helpful part, because previously we used to generate those. And now we do prop table, I think. Props table. This is the component we use. Props table. Password props table as an example. And here, yeah, you do this. I'm gonna copy paste this to headline. And the name is headline. Okay. And here we do headline props. And we need to keep only two. Okay.
Which is the size and what else?
As and size. Default value is H1 and type is H1, or we can just take it from the types.
Yeah.
I don't know if replace single quoted with double quoted string. I thought it's smart enough to replace those, but we do this by our own. It's
Fight.
Too smart.
Fight.
Okay, here we go. And here we have size. Default one depends on the heading level.
Nice.
Here, those are the value. And now we're gonna do the same thing again. And this time I'll be smarter and do Command R and do this.
Fancy web storm.
Just find and replace. It's everywhere. Actually, the last commit failed because of something. Let's see. Yeah, I used too many characters. So, and here, what we want to add. This one we want to render here. Properties. And table. And we need to, actually a lot of things unused. Line props table. Line props table. We need to edit this.
We should have something not automatically, but rather what I'm going to say is that an intention to add this props table to everything.
Yeah, that's a good idea. So I would love to kind of, so this is the point where we want to emphasize, that use different headlines and paragraph to structure your content hierarchically. But this is like the recommendations for headings here. Please reference to ensure your heading provides accessible experience.
But I think that there is only so much that you can do, right? Like you kind of pass the idea that you have to structure properly, but what else? There is not much that you can do. In the end, it's the developers. It's kind of the accessibility topic, right? It doesn't matter how much we do in the design system if the implementations don't.
Yeah, I want just to say, like, prefer to have to use headlines
oversizes
kind of from one starting from level 1 and not skip levels. I don't know if it makes sense. Use combination of as proper. Use combination of as and size property to keep this semantics
while follow the design.
Yeah, while following the design. Okay. And here in the playground we added this. Okay. Okay, let's see the documentation. I don't like Gatsby. It takes forever to. It's like very poor developer experience.
But it's weird, huh? Because I have been working with Gatsby in a couple projects, and I never felt this pain. So I don't know if rather the problem is not Gatsby, but us doing something in configuration that can be done better. I don't know.
Yeah, me neither. But we built 43 pages, like more than a minute, and it's impossible. Unbearable.
1 minute of my life.
And see, it fails from time to time. Title card. I think I did something somewhere. Changelog MDX. What? Yeah. Title card from. It looks like it duplicated changelog. You see? Here's one page. Here's another one.
Yeah.
And let's remove. I don't know what to remove now. I think it's like this. Yeah. But it's strange. I suppose not to touch it. It looks like it's a bug, no? Failed.
Which line? 29.
Let me rerun. And those are errors that kind of, I don't know if it's on...
Accessing no existing property to end of mode export.
So yeah, we need to take a look what's going on, because this is, again, title card in the same... So repeated twice. Let me see. 1, 2... Yeah, here we go. Again, changelog. I think it's something wrong with the changelog generation. It repeats the header. Here we go, once again. And it's impossible to build them. Okay, definitely worth creating an issue.
But how have been working so far then?
Maybe it failed during the deploy and we didn't notice in the GitHub, because this is the recent pull request. I think we merged from Iona. And that's what I think. I'm not gonna commit this part, but I'm better create so if the build is fine now, we're gonna create a pull request and an issue, because I think this changelog is it generated.
Yeah, by semantic release, no?
Yeah, but I think we use some kinda
plugin.
Yeah. Here we go. Really changelog title, and it is added every time and causes the issue.
Okay, gotcha.
This is the thing.
Got it.
Okay, now it failed, but it shows that the bundle is ready. Okay, let's see, I don't know if it's 3,000 or 8,000. 3,000. Here we go. Headline.
Oh, baby.
Now I'm thinking, depends on the heading level. Should we provide this mapping or no? Because it makes sense.
You cannot have it already, right? H1 XXL, H2 XL, H3L, H4.
But they are kind of one below another by chance. But yeah, let's skip it, I think. Or let's see if it's possible to make it neat in the table, because I think it's not, because you need to do like /n, or let's see. We can do probably this H1 no XXL. Here we say depends on the heading line. Well, and I'm going to do H2 and we'll see what is the result. No, it doesn't look very nice. So okay, then it stays plus.
Okay.
So do you think it is enough?
I think so, because I mean, if you want, we can add it, but I feel like you can you can do the math really quick, right? H1 is the biggest one, and then go from there.
Yeah, I'm thinking also. Yeah, all good. I want to add just here before we wrap. Default headlines. Because now it looks a bit kind of those things pops up from nowhere, like headline.
Yeah.
Uh, let's make it nice.
What we do in the others, we don't have kind of breaking lines somewhere or something, because it's true that everything feels very cluttered.
Yeah, I think we don't have this theme properly set up, or we. So this is definitely lack of top margin now, and this
Yeah,
it looks like closer to the top to the table than to the content itself. But this is because headline is already quite big, so it has its own margin, I believe.
well, no margin, but the line
Oh
height,
no,
right?
no, it the wrapper has it, so we
Like
can actually we can remove it and make sense. Let's try. So here margin right, padding. That's what we have. Padding. Let's remove the
Are
top
you
one.
sure for all the?
No, that it is used only for this is for all. Yeah, true. True. Okay, let's keep it, and then we can iterate. So I commit those two. This is
Okay.
the difference. I removed unused stuff because we don't use theme. Couple of missed, a couple of typos. Example, and the table. And the
Yeah.
table here is just a list of two props, and that's it, I think. Okay, docs. Add props table and examples. Okay, sounds right to you?
Add table and examples. Yes.
Okay, and now we push. We push, and we commit and push.
Push. Push.
So committing half an hour, pushing half an hour. I think that's because there is a pre-tier, there is ESLint or StyleLint as well.
Got it.
Oh, it's like all together. It just takes a lot of time, which probably we need to rethink. And let's review what we have, what we push. So in general, so this is what we've added. We added a list of possible, set the style of the headline. Okay. And then default headline. And this is it. Yeah, we actually kind of like we changed. We spent 2 hours, changed 10 lines at the end. You see, classic. And the specs, we updated a bit the spec, so we added this what takes precedence of what over what, and we improved those tests, checking the line height as well, and we added those size prop tests. Okay. Looks nice, and the documentation. Okay, I'm pushing.
Oh yeah.
Oof. Okay, so let's create a pull request. New pull. There was one on top. Compare and pull. Separates headline styles from
heading level.
heading level. Okay. And adds a new or it's more how. I'm always a bit confused. What is like the solution?
No, so what is expose a new property of size? Why closes the ticket? How is that we make a map between default heading levels and sizes, and also allow to set the size alone.
Adds a new size prop.
No, this is allowed to influence the size without changing the heading level. That's the why. That's the what.
Influence the size without changing the level. Okay, yeah, I like it. Closes this. Now,
exposing the size prop.
The size which takes precedence over headline level or default headline level style.
Yeah.
And actually, nothing changes from these.
Aesthetically speaking.
Yeah. We're gonna send. I'm gonna attach a link to this stream. So.
All right. If you want to know more, you got 2 hours here. Through your PR.
Okay, no, but I think it's important. No, that's not that. I think checklist ready to be merged, definitely. And what I want to add maybe is that it's not a break and change. So how checklist? This is not a break and change for the size the components without size prop set will still behave as previously. Versions. Influencing maybe without okay, I don't know if it makes sense to keep it down or up, but I think it is fine. Okay, I create pull request and I think we're done, no?
Yes. Great. Thanks to everyone that joins. Was super cool, Mr. Nick.
Yeah, it was very helpful advices. Thank you, folks. It was really useful. I hope we will continue next week or the week after the next. We'll see how it will be. Okay, yeah, thank you. Have a good weekend.
You too. Bye.
Ciao. And that's